Susan Hempstead. I reside at 924 Swan Avenue. Um, on June 17th, a carjacking occurred right there on 36th Street in the corner of Chevron. Um, this happens to have been an individual who was just recently released from TGK, and he hijacked a occupied vehicle. So it doesn't matter how many times, it's once is too much. I also wanted to talk on the fact, Maria, when we spoke, my yard, you told me that you were going to try to make our community as safe as possible. But now you're talking like it's a cocoon. I don't feel it's very important. I mean, for you, I feel it's important that everybody has a say in what's going on here. I didn't want a lot of things to happen downtown, and look where we are downtown. The fact that we're opening up a pedestrian bridge across here in our beautiful Sunset Triangle, I think is going to be a very bad idea. Um, it's only going to welcome, I would consider a homeless camp and Santeria discardings is what's going to happen there. I don't think anybody's going to use it. I think it's going to be the detriment of our beautiful city and it opening up right into our elite community with the right there on South Royal Poinciana. I don't feel is a good idea. I reject that. I reject the pedestrian crossing and I reject the TGK expansion. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
The map of Miami Springs crime incidents cluster into three areas: 36th Street, the Circle Bridge, and to a lesser extent, the northwest corner where people can walk into Miami Springs from Medley and Hialeah. I'm speaking on the pedestrian bridge. There's one thing they have in common: pedestrian access to Miami Springs. Nestor Suarez, who authors MiamiSprings.com, wrote an article on the pedestrian bridge on December 13th, 2019. He quoted, "The bridge will allow a criminal element to walk into Miami Springs, commit some crimes, and easily get out. That's true. It's a known fact that criminals do enter Miami Springs from the northwest corner of the city, either via Medley or the train tracks. However, adding this pedestrian link doesn't change the criminal's ability to enter or exit the city." End quote. Nestor is correct. So why, under the pretext of, quote, convenience of residents to use MetroRail, are we facilitating greater criminal access to Miami Springs? Have we forgotten that our neighbor Medley is around the corner from TGK, the home of 1,300 criminals? Criminals that get released on the street every day, 3 times a day? On June 17th, an inmate was released and allegedly carjacked an occupied vehicle at the Chevron on Curtis Parkway and 36th Street. The passenger was strong-armed robbed by the inmate. This just happened on June 17th. They are still looking for him. The mayor of VG is irate that this happened. What about our city council and mayor? How many other occurrences have happened? Do we really need to provide this criminal element and the criminal element from Hialeah easier access to Miami Springs? We average over 400 crimes a year and want to give a proven criminal element easier access? This idea is foolish and justified solely for the convenience of a handful of residents and politicians. It's ridiculous. I read that the pedestrian bridge approved in 2019 is a done deal, and Maria Mitchell is vehement that this cannot be re-legislated. Did anyone ask the residents of Miami Springs if they were okay with this bridge? Who on our city council voted on this? Jackie Bravo told me she wanted to look into the crime factor in our city. This was before she was elected, when the Doug Orr employee was assaulted with a pistol on Ludlam Drive while walking on his lunch hour. They too got away. They're still looking for him. This bridge will increase the criminal element in our city. Think about what this bridge is really going to provide. I don't know about you, but the convenience isn't worth it as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Mitchell, Councilwoman, Councilman.
Good evening. Good evening.
There have been a few things that I was surprised to hear about since I had no knowledge of such projects, which is the elevated overpass bridge by the railroad tracks on Ludlam and North Royal Ponciana. I actually got to read about it. We have already so many problems regarding the homeless people that move under the bridge and make it their home. Now, just imagine what they would do with two bridges to call home. They'd have their own little condo city underneath. We have already had so many problems from the homeless, including one that was found dead. So much drug use, which I have personally witnessed. I have called the police on several occasions, from drug use to also witnessing them passing down under the bridge 6 bicycles, by the way, brand new bicycles, at one time. And sadly, many of us Miami Springs residents who drive by the railroad tracks daily, we always encounter dead animals, whether it's dead ducks, chickens, iguanas, and even goats. This pedestrian bridge will only welcome more of the Santeria rituals because this bridge will connect to the MetroRail, which is directly across the street is a Santero store on Okeechobee, as well as a strip club. And the hotels/motels, which are hourly, are used mainly for prostitution and drug use. I see this bridge as no advantage for our Miami Springs residents, nor do I see it as a positive impact for our community. It will only bring trouble to our beautiful city. Our residents that use MetroRail will not walk over to the station. 90% of us will get a ride, drive ourselves, or Uber. As a Miami Springs resident for close to 35 years, I would be terrified to walk over that bridge, not knowing what individual is under that bridge, or if they are under the influence of narcotics or alcohol, and could actually come up from under that bridge to rob, rape, or even kill someone. We never know how people act when they're under the influence of narcotics. This pedestrian bridge will not in any way benefit our residents. The only ones that will benefit are the homeless, the drug users, and the thieves that will steal from the bird section and have an easy getaway across that pathway. Why is this so necessary when we have so many residents against this? We are asking our mayor and our council people to please listen to the people who elected you to do better for our community. Thank you.
I also wanted to speak about the pedestrian bridge. For me, it's strictly a safety issue. We already have numerous bridges in and out of Springs. We have a great police department, but they're stretched thin with the crime on 36th Street and the other bridges coming in. We have the license plate readers to catch criminals coming into the city, and now we're giving them another access to come in. It seems like it's already a done deal, but if there's anything we can do to stop this or change it, or perhaps even install cameras or some type of security monitoring system, I think that's what we need to look into, because why give our cops another challenge? They already have so many challenges to deal with, and I think we're giving them another one. Where are people going to park for this bridge? In Sunset Park? So now we're going to have added traffic, parking, another element for the police to protect the cars from break-ins, from people that, like Pamela was saying, are living under the bridge. I just don't see where it's necessary. You can walk a block west, come across 12th Avenue and come back. So we're putting a pedestrian bridge basically for a 1 block walk to save that. It just doesn't seem necessary. Thank you.
Thank you.